Sewing of A-Cut Petticoat. In the previous session, we cut the fabric pieces for the A-Cut Petticoat. We will now sew all the fabric pieces together. At the end of this session, you will be able to sew the fabric pieces of an A-Cut Petticoat. Let's first familiarize with the tools and materials required for sewing an A-Cut Petticoat. They are cut out fabric pieces, matching thread, sewing machine, a pair of small scissors and measuring tape. Open the front and back borders and keep the front borders over the back borders with the right sides inside. First, we will sew the shoulder seams with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, starting and ending with a reverse stitch. We will now sew a narrow double folded hem for the neck opening. First, press the shoulder seam allowances open. Starting from one shoulder seam, fold the cut edge of the neck opening 1/8 inch over to the wrong side of the fabric and stitch it down. Keep folding the cut edge 1/8 inch over all around the neck opening and stitch it down till the starting point. Then again, fold the folded edge over all around the neck opening and stitch next to the folded edge till the starting point. Now, let's sew a narrow double folded hem for the armhole. Starting from one side of the armhole, fold the cut edge 1/8 inch over to the wrong side of the fabric and stitch it down. And again, fold the folded edge all around the armhole and stitch it down. Repeat the same for the other armhole also. Now let's sew a French seam for the side seams. For that, fold the A-cut petticoat at the shoulder so that the wrong side is inside and align the side seams. Then sew along the side seams with a 1/8 inch seam allowance, starting and ending with a reverse stitch on the right side of the fabric. Repeat the same for the other side also. Then turn the petticoat to its wrong side. Open the side seam and press it flat, enclosing the previous seam. Now sew a 3/8 inch seam allowance and start and end with a reverse stitch on one side. Similarly, sew the other side too. Now we can sew the bottom hem. At the bottom of the petticoat, fold the cut edge half inch to the wrong side and press it flat all around the bottom, keeping the side seam allowances towards the back. Then again fold it over a second time. Start sewing at one side seam next to the first fold and end with a reverse stitch. Let's turn the A-cut petticoat to the right side and iron it nicely. Our A-cut petticoat is ready. It is very important to verify the various aspects of quality of the finished product. So let's do a quality check to ensure that our product is of good quality. We will first verify if the measurement of the total length of the petticoat matches with the measurements taken. Measure the chest circumference. It should be half of the measurement that you have planned. Check if the narrow double folded hem at the neck opening is clean and the top stitch is neatly done. Check if the narrow double folded hem at the armhole is clean. Check if the bottom hem is even. Now check if the seams are even and parallel and are of the right measurement throughout. Ensure that the bottom hem and the side seam joining is neat. Check if the side seam is parallel. Finally, see if the product has been ironed properly. In this session, we have learned how to sew the fabric pieces for an A-cut petticoat. Before we conclude, let's take a look at the key points involved in sewing an A-cut petticoat. Step 1. Sew the shoulder seams. Step 2. Sew a narrow double folded hem for the neck opening. Step 3. Sew a narrow double folded hem for the armholes. Step 4. Sew a French seam for the side seams. Step 5. Sew the bottom hem. Step 6. Check the quality of the finished product. With that, we've come to the end of this session.